So there are hundreds of hoodies out there to choose from for your streetwear startup, and many of them just fall apart because they got poor quality, or they're the same hoodies that other brands are using, so your brand can't stand out. Today I got 3 hoodies that aren't going to fall apart on you and that are going to help your brand stand out. And one of the hoodies is manufactured by the same companies that produce the garments for Stüssy and Supreme. So stay tuned to see that. Okay, so let's talk about the criteria for these hoodies. So first off, all of these hoodies are streetwear blanks, meaning they fit the same brief of what a streetwear blank hoodie should be. This is going to include heavyweight fabric, so 400 GSM and up, which is about 11.8 ounces per square yard and up. Now this is debatable on whether this is heavyweight in streetwear, as they keep pushing and pushing the heavyweight entry level up in streetwear, but for the apparel industry as a whole, this is definitely the threshold for being considered a heavyweight garment. So all these garments are going to be, like I said, 400 GSM and up. On top of that, they're going to have that vintage kind of lived in look, which is accomplished primarily through garment dyeing, sometimes pigment dyeing, and sometimes an abrasive wash, whether that's something like an enzyme wash or a mineral wash at the end. Last thing that all these garments include is that they feature a current streetwear fit or silhouette. So these are things like what we've seen for the last, 4 years, boxy fits, and the last, 2-3 years crop fits, and then, since the birth of streetwear, oversized fits. And we're gonna judge them on a 5-point framework within this criteria. So that 5-point framework is going to be fabric and weight, fit, construction, aesthetic, and who's it for. All these hoodies are gonna be available at the wholesale level. This is definitely part of the criteria. So what that means is going to be a cheaper cost per unit for you, the brand owner. Okay, so first up is going to be the 900 GSM hoodie with gridlock in leaf green by Humane Blanks. Okay, so this is a 100% organic cotton hoodie in 900 GSM, and it actually comes in 2 options. It has 900 GSM and then 1800 GSM, which is extremely heavy. This 1800 GSM is basically just going to be 2 900 GSM fabric pieces stacked on top of each other, so it's going to be double layered versus a single layer 900 GSM. When you think of a double layer garment, this is really common with, working in extremely harsh environments or a lot of workwear companies. So think about arborwear, which is meant for arborists, working in very cold climates. And for this Humane Blanks hoodie, the aesthetic and the overall silhouette is clearly influenced by the Yeezy Gap hoodie. The fit, the way it's a boxy tapered fit, is influenced, the stitching on it, even on the kangaroo patch, the way it's actually applied to the bodice, it's like directly one-to-one with the Yeezy Gap hoodie. How tight the hood is, all these things, how bulbous and kind of cozy this hoodie is, which is really the best way to describe the Humane Blanks. And both, I think the Yeezy Gap is it really feels like you're putting a heavyweight fleece blanket on you, and you get this bulbous, comfy, cozy kind of look and feel to it. So like I said, this hoodie is a tapered boxy silhouette, and it actually features a cinch at the waist so that the hem and the hoodie doesn't start to flip up or crawl up on you. And this is the detail that sets it apart from the Yeezy Gap Perfect hoodie. And this cinch is going to be the trademark CRDLCK. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know, it looks like an abbreviation for the trademark, and I really don't know what they're trademarking, but they did trademark that. This hoodie is also going to have elongated hems both at the waist and the cuffs of the sleeve. So this is going to be the remnant, which is going to help with both the durability and structure of the garment, preventing fraying, and then help keep those sleeves in place where they're supposed to be, and that bodice in place on your body where it's supposed to be. And if we look at the dimensions for size medium on this hoodie, which is what I wear, it's going to be 26.4 inches by 27 inches, which is extremely boxy. If you convert that to a percentage for a boxing, the score is going to be 98%. That's just meaning that's the proportion of what it is width over length. It's almost a perfect square. So the cut itself is spacious and roomy, but once you're actually in the hoodie, you feel pretty enveloped. And I think that just really has to do with the heavyweight fabric we're using, 900 GSM, and 900 GSM is pretty intense. So you can imagine 1800 GSM and what that would feel like. It really just envelops you, like I say, a kind of heavy fleece blanket would. Now I actually have a arborwear hoodie, a double layer arborwear hoodie, and I'm not sure what the specs are on this guy. I'll put it up on screen once I take a look at it after this video. But I'll go ahead and show a clip of me wearing that just so you have an idea of, kind of how much fabric is really is really in this garment, in this hoodie, and how much it kind of creates that bulbous look and that voluptuous look. Okay, so the construction on this hoodie is decent. It's not bad, it's not great. You know, the hood is lined, the kangaroo pocket is lined. With the stitching, we see a little bit of wonky lines, not completely straight, and we see some puckering. And the way the hood is, we don't see a very clean curve going around the hood. But I think that this has a lot more to do with the fabric weight. At 900 GSM, that's a lot, you know, of fabric to be stitching through, especially on tighter areas like the hood. So, you know, it's kind of the trade-off between using a heavyweight fabric. It's decent construction, but definitely not the best in this video. The aesthetic for this one is going to be that elevated basic, really set in that lane that the Easy Gap Perfect hoodie is in. It's gonna be that same plush, blank, no noise look. Difference is maybe that cinch waist, and then it has a great color selection as well. Now this is gonna be for the founder that wants a plush, heavyweight, elevated blank and gives the cozy premium wrap yourself up type of feel. Next is gonna be the 3010 Relaxed Fit Pullover hooded sweatshirt in black by House of Blanks. So this one is going to be a 100% cotton French terry at 400 GSM. This is a lot lighter than the previous Humane Blanks hoodie, but still on that heavyweight line for the apparel industry as a whole. And French terry is great because it's really breathable. So it has a loop back structure that lets a lot of air pass through freely compared to the brushed fleece that we see on a lot of the hoodies, like the Humane Blanks. It's kind of just industry standard. And the next hoodie that we have coming after this is also going to be a brushed fleece. It also holds structure better, but the trade-off here is it's not going to be as soft on the inside. So the 400 GSM mixed with the breathability of the French terry make it a realistic hoodie for places like where I live in Southern California, where the climate is moderately warm year-round. Okay, so construction is where this hoodie really dominates. It has double stitching everywhere on top. For all the seams. It has elongated hems for structure and durability like the Humane Blanks hoodie. It also has a lined hood. It unfortunately does not have a lined kangaroo pocket, but the stitch quality on all the seams is just masterful. It's unmatched. They use actually a smaller stitch length, and so what that means is it means more accuracy, and it also means more long-term durability, and the lines are just extremely straight everywhere you look on this hoodie. And you can clearly see this craftsmanship with how well the hood curves. So House of Blanks is actually the brand produced by the factory Roopa Knitting Mills, and Roopa Knitting Mills produces the garments for Supreme and Stüssy. They're fully vertically integrated from yarn to finished garment, so they really have their quality control dialed. This is going to be hands down the best technically sound blank with immense longevity and great quality control. And the aesthetic of this one is really kind of like a classic entry streetwear hoodie. It's got, you know, the OG drawstrings, which we're seeing less and less of, it seems like, in the streetwear space. It has muted and neutral colorways. It has that garnet dye, which kind of gives it that little vintage look. Its silhouette isn't exaggerated, so it's just going to be a great canvas for your decoration. Now, this is for the founder that wants the longest living and most technically sound, quality-oriented garment. Now, the last one is going to be the Oversized Elastic Cropped Hoodie in Age Purple by Mooji Mooji. So this hoodie is going to be a 100% cotton at 680 GSM. That's going to sit kind of right in between the Humane Blanks and the House of Blanks. And it's a brushed fleece as well, like the Humane Blanks. But due to the distressing that goes on with this garment, it's not as soft as the Humane Blanks, but it's definitely softer than the loop back French terry of the House of Blanks. Now this silhouette is going to be the most exaggerated of the three. It's very unique. A boxy, oversized crop silhouette as a whole. It has exaggerated drop sleeves that really bleed into a shorter sleeve. Now the dimensions for the garment are 27 width, which is very wide for a size medium, and then a 23 on the length. So clearly that's really cropped. Comparably so, like for reference, the Humane Blanks was basically 27 by 27. So on the width of this one, you're losing 4 inches, which, you know, is their intention. It really shows when it's on body. It also features a big hood in the Reaper style. So this is different than the other two, because the other two, Humane Blanks especially, had a real tight, kind of narrow, not spacious hood. So I personally really prefer a big hood that has a lot of space to it. They are actually using an elastic waistband. So instead of the rim knit, they're using elastic. And this difference is important because it feels less fitted and more kind of just goes with the flow, kind of accommodates when you need to type of thing. And that whole idea and feeling, I think, goes really well with the whole vibe that they're trying to achieve in this garment. It's kind of this looser, freer, utilitarian hoodie. Honestly, this was not going to be as technically sound as the House of Blanks hoodie, but it's still decent quality, right in line with Humane Blanks, if not better. I mean, this one features no center kangaroo pocket, but the curving on the hood is definitely better than Humane Blanks, and overall the seam quality and stitching lines looks pretty straight to the eye. I couldn't really find any areas where I could point out bad stitching. Now for the aesthetic, this is definitely the most distinctive of the three hoodies. It's a very distressed look. You know, we have the garment dye vintage look process going on, and then there's an abrasive wash that really adds this fade to the garment as a whole. And on the edges of the hoodie, of the hood, I should say, and the collar and the sleeve and the waist, we see, you know, little rip pieces, which just plays in more to the whole distressing effect. Now this is clearly different than the other two, and it's communicating a story before there's even any design on it. Now this is going to be for the streetwear founder that's chasing the most unique, distressed garment that's already going to be communicating a story that's going to be incorporated with the decoration. So there's going to be no universal winner here. It just really depends on the brand you're trying to build, and also it depends on, you know, the weight you want for your garment, because we do have a real weight spread here from 400 GSM to 680 GSM to 900 GSM to 1800 GSM if you want that. So that's going to be a consideration for you, where you're at, and the feel and aesthetic that you're trying to bring to your consumers. So Humane Blanks is going to be that plush, heavyweight statement piece that's going to be in that easy gap perfect hoodie lane. To me, this is kind of the next generation of Blake hoodies in the streetwear space. And so if you're forward looking and you resonate with that bulbous look that the hoodie provides, and you want something that's gonna be great for big decoration, if you want to do that, you know, then this is probably the great hoodie for you. It singles elevated without boasting too much to steal the spotlight from your actual artwork that's going to go onto the hoodie. Now, if you want the most technically sound, best durability, best longevity, best quality hoodie, that's going to be House of Blanks, same factory that's producing for Supreme and Stüssy, and it's really just that OG classic streetwear entry hoodie done masterfully and ready for your designs for decoration. Now, if you want a distressed, unique, already telling a story before it's even on the bag type of hoodie, now that's going to be Mooji Mooji. And for me, Mooji Mooji is actually my personal favorite. It's the one that seems like I'm always grabbing when I'm going somewhere casual, or I'm always putting in my suitcase when I'm going on a trip. I actually love it at the airport, wearing it on the plane, just throwing up that big Reaper hood, having it cover my eyes, taking a nap there. That's what the intention they're going for with this hoodie. They want something that's very utilitarian, that you're just grabbing and it's going to work for you. You know, the elastic waistband just kind of accommodating fits into that motif. The big Reaper hood covering the eyes fits into that motif. The exaggerated oversized width of just free movement fits into that motif. So for me, that's what I'm going for. But for you, it's really up to what you want your brand to represent and who you want to target with it. So I'm actually in the process of putting together a full bleed directory for streetwear startups like you, so that there's no guesswork, so that all the specs and information is standardized, cutting straight through the noise of the marketing terms, so you can get exactly what you want for the brand you're trying to build. And below is going to do the newsletter sign up, so you can be the first to know when it comes out. And if you want some print on demand recommendations, the print on demand rankings are already built out, so you can check those out.